welcome to OSTV, and I want to welcome you also to this show. We are discussing on youth and leadership and academic leadership, and we are having two young gentlemen here who are great leaders in different in university, and they will have to tell us more on academic leadership. Welcome to the show, and I would like you to tell us your names and the roles you play in leadership.
My name is Victor Pinky, former drama chairman and alumni of the Technical University of Mombasa, and the founder SPOP.
Okay, my name's John Father Small. I'm right now the Sports and Entertainment Secretary at the Technical University of Mombasa. I'm a finalist student.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. Now, I would like to ask you how you began your leadership.
I think the moment I actually managed a group of people and I saw that they were listening to me and they were following my ideologies and things that I always said, let's do this. That's when I knew I'll make a good leader.
Okay, maybe on my part, I think when I was younger, I think I may concur maybe with the great man theory where he says that leaders are born. Yeah, I believe like when I was born, since I was a small kid, even in the family, I used to think like I can manage this, I can manage this. So in that process, I get myself. Maybe from there is when I saw that in everywhere I am, I think like I should be a leader. Yeah, I should guide that group to achieve a certain objective, like that way.
And how can you describe a great leader in your own perspective?
Well, I'll say a great leader is someone who is emphatic, and someone who, has empathy and believes in taking the people in the right direction and being in the front line.
Okay, as for me, I believe like being a great leader, you should be maybe let's say you have an objective. What objectives are you setting? Are they for good morals? Are they concurring with the society that someone is in? So if you get yourself into that direction, then you are able to manage a group to concur with your thoughts. Then you'll be automatically a great leader. Yeah.
Okay, what sets a university leader apart from the others? Because we have different leaders in different institutions.
Yeah.
What sets a university leader apart from the other leaders?
Someone who is capable of making independent decisions and decisions that are actually going to affect the whole institution in a positive manner. Because this is a person who is entrusted by the students to represent them in the higher level. So you have to be someone with an independent mindset and, someone who is always empathetic with your people.
Okay, I believe with the university leader is that there's a certain aspect in that with the university leaders, it's time they're realizing, like, high school, in churches, everywhere, in every situation or every circumstance, there are usually a certain type of leader. But now, in the university, this is the time someone realizes that this is the right way, this is what he wants here. Because when you go to back in high school, back in primary, it was just appointing, you'll be the school head boy, you'll be the school what. But with the university now, someone has to have that passion. You have a desire. I want to be a leader. You cannot just get it that easier. So I think that can distinguish these two type of leadership, yeah. Because when you are in university and you want to become a leader, you have to maybe have some inspiration. You have that urge to have it. So with that, I think it can make a difference. Like in the university, it's maybe a starting point where youths or young individuals tend to pick it up from there. Yeah.
And
I think to add on the same, I feel like for you to become like a campus leader, like you have to measure the self-determination in you, because if you're not determined to like lead people, you're not determined to like make ideas and bring objectives on the table that's going to satisfy people, then you're not ready to lead people. You're not ready to take people to a different level.
You know, in a campus setup, we always do elections.
Yeah.
We vote. So you are politicians actually. How did you make these people vote for you?
I think I'll direct that to
Okay, so with the university setup, actually, because in the university, leadership, politics, so you need to match them. Like a politician, most of them also are leaders, because let's say in the nation, the president, he must be a leader to take us through the right direction. So now back to the university, in that actually it's not normally that easy, because university politics are so much contested. It's something hard. Pink nose is something that needs someone who wants to go for it. You can't just get it that easy. So it needs determination. It needs every input. Let me say, for you to get that position, it needs that commitment. You must do everything for you to achieve. Yeah. So with me, I started like when I was in year one, when I entered the school. So like you'll get those executive, they want to introduce the leaders of the institution. So I had that passion. I saw someone. I remember that time we had a president called Okanga. So when he was in the front of all students, then he was telling us something like, when they say comrades power, you should go with them. Like they have their ways of communication. Then I was like, how comes that young man is a student? He has managed everyone. Yeah. He has collected all of us freshers. He is with us at the assembly hall. He's telling us, he's commanding us, this is the right way, this is the thing. Then I was like, I must be like that man. One day before I leave this institution, I must be in the position where that man is, and also address some students who will be there during that time, no matter what time will take. So from there, after first year, the second year, I decided to join the university politics by vying as a faculty rep. So after vying as a faculty rep, you know, I normally acknowledge myself like that I have luck, in that I've never failed at any level, even from the primary. So yeah, after getting the faculty rep, the second year, the third year, I went for the higher position. Then I also managed it. So I think it was some inspiration. I can say that.
Yeah, and I know in campus there are benefits you get as a leader. What are these benefits that you get when you are a leader in university?
I think one benefit is that you get people to trust you, and you get people to depend on you. You know, when people know you as a leader, they know that everything you tell them is the correct thing. If you tell them, let's go this way, they'll definitely follow you. So you have a benefit because you have like a higher ability to like control people.
Okay, for me, one thing I'll say is that just the way Pinky has said, people trust you because majority have elected you. So when majority have chosen you, they'll trust what you say. If you guide them this way, no matter the way you'll guide them, you know, with the university students, they don't think like what this small has told us, what small has said is what's right, because you manage a large number of them. So I think you'll be able to control a higher population. And controlling a higher population, with the university, we are from different ethnic groups. Like you'll get some people from Meru, Sia, all over the country. So I think it's also one way to realize your dream and enriching your dream to the outside world. And another thing also I can say, with campus university leaders, we have very, very many opportunities, I can say. Now you are the one guiding everything. Let's say also we have some small tips, small allowances. All of those are benefits. When you're going outside, we have those exposure. You're going somewhere, you're taking a certain group to do something. All those are just some, but the advantages of maybe what we can say the benefits of being a leader at that institution. Also, even the lecturers, they will not take you the way they take normal students. Yeah. So it's also one of the advantage, because even when you're not in class, when you are not in class that time, maybe there's a card that was given. When you go to approach maybe a lecturer, he will take you like a leader. You have the say in the institution, so they won't just take it that calm. They'll give you, maybe what I can say is you have, maybe, let's say, we can call it the first priority. You are like a first priority in everything. They prioritize you, because even we have had the graduation yesterday. Also, we were given that opportunity to attend that graduation, unlike other students who cannot be given. You are wearing a gown of a master student. Yeah, you are like graduating for master, but you are only given that opportunity. Even you have not had your gown for the degree, but you are given that gown just because you are added. And in everything they are doing in the institution, they are giving you the first priority. That's what I can say. That are the major benefit of being a leader in the university, because the school believes in you and they say that you guys have. Yeah.
I also think another benefit of being like a campus leader is that if, for instance, you look at the past elections, the national elections, I think a lot of politicians use university leaders to like fetch votes and mobilize people out here. So you get that rapport and you make a connection at the national level with big dignitaries. Yeah.
Wow. And from benefits, there are also challenges that leaders face. And I know in a campus setup, you also have challenges that you face as a leader. So what are some of these challenges that you have gone through or you have experienced as a leader?
Being mistaken for a character that you're not and someone you're not. I think a lot of people think that leadership comes with a silver spoon in it, and maybe for someone like you, gentleman, you will definitely have these chilies who are now approaching you because they feel they want to achieve something. They want to be, called, and they want to be identified with you. You see, so the moment like you start becoming a leader, you always get threats from people. You'll become a university threat to other people.
So the challenges actually with the university leaders, challenges are main actually. If I can just count some few of them. First thing in the university, those who fail during election is just like the normal Kenyan politics. The opposition is always there to oversee what you are doing. In case you just do a slight mistake, that's there fighting and doing the things. And the thing also in decision making, you sometimes we have those hard decisions that you will have to decide on. Like, let's say the institution is with this policy. They want this policy to be implemented. But students don't need that policy. Now you are the one left in between here to choose which side. Are you siding with the students or are you siding with the institution? Both of them have different implication in that when you decide to side with the students, the institution will see like now you've gone to the student.
You're betraying them.
You're betraying them. But now if you decide also to go up with the institution, the student will feel you are betraying them. Now you have to choose where to stand. Yeah, so at times where to stand normally makes it very hard. Making that decision to which way to go usually very hard so much. Another thing what I can say also, students when students see someone is a leader, now they see like maybe you've got everything, you have the power and everything. They want, maybe we have a scenario where you cannot control, but they want you to control. Someone has broke the law, but he wants you as a leader, because he elected you, go favor him so that that circumstance can overturn. Even if that circumstance or the situation cannot be overturned, but he wants you to turn. Maybe someone has been found stealing exam, or maybe the school law says very clearly that whenever you are found cheating exam, there are evidence there for you, you must go home. But now the students wants you to go in that Senate board. You go convince the Senate that in fact this student was not stealing but doing something else. You get it? But you know the funny part, maybe he has given out the phone to the lecturer. The lecturer has phone. He has all sorts of evidence, but the students want you Now, if you don't manage that situation, when she or he goes home, it feels like you betrayed him. Yeah. So sometimes that situation hinder it, and it becomes a major challenge.
And I know sometimes you work with difficult colleagues who are in the same faculty, the same leadership places. So how do you deal with these people?
Personally, I feel like sometimes you definitely have to give someone an upper hand and make them learn from their own mistakes. So long as whatever they are doing is not going overboard, then you can correct them. Because sometimes you'll meet with colleagues who are dictators. Maybe you believe in teamwork, but someone else believes that the way to leadership is through vertical communication, So you like have to first of all fit in their shoe, and through that you can now narrow it to them and show them maybe the benefit of maybe doing teamwork and the benefit of listening to others.
Okay, so basically what I can say is that you got someone in the same faculty, you're working with them, but now there's some difference. So overcoming them, let's say the first thing I can say is that realizing what your position entails. You have the sports secretary, manage the sports docket. You have the academic secretary, manage the academic docket. You have the president, be the overall charge. Okay, so the immediate time someone will fail to understand his position very well, and maybe jump to someone's docket, then there will have that. Now we have quarrels within the same faculty. At times you can with the campus politics also, the campus leaders at times it's become totally different, because at first we normally vie for, maybe you can get people vying for the same position, but they get themselves in one alliance. You get it? Now maybe this guy you are with him in the same alliance did to use something before you were in that alliance, but because of situations you found yourself working together. At times it becomes so challenging to work with someone like that, because maybe in one or two way he did to you something that you cannot forget. With the campus leadership is quite hectic, very political. Sometimes even it can lead to death and such kind of things. So at times you get someone who was almost killing you. You're working with him. He's maybe a higher position than you. So at the end, maybe you will not work together very similar, because each time you'll be making a decision and saying, let me work with this guy, you'll get yourself again changing that mind within time. Maybe if he does a very small thing, you just say like, maybe this guy is just doing this thing because one time somewhere he feels like he's greater than you. So I think that's what I can say concerning that.
Most of the times, especially in Kenya, we experience riots in universities, in different universities. How do you people deal with these challenges, with these riots? How do you make these students understand and come to a place of calm?
So with that, maybe what I can say is that the first thing, if you manage to win campus politics, maybe any position in the university, I think you will be controlling a certain group of people. So that group that you are controlling, no matter what, no matter the situation, it's just like the national politics. Raila with the Luos. Even if we say today, let Luos die, most of we'll get 10 or 20 dying. Now that's the same with the campus. You have a certain group. Now you'll use that group to convince the other group or some few individuals who are against that will that maybe you are implementing, and I think they'll just calm.
I think that it matters to do with riots and demos. It's also things to do with trust. The moment you have that group trusts you, and one thing makes you a leader is your command base. You're able to naturally command people without necessarily telling them anything, and if you can command them with silence, then the moment you speak, the moment you tell them like, let's follow this way, they'll definitely go for that. That's why you find that a lot of campus politics, when there are riots, the people who come to like talk to the press and talk to the people, it's the leaders themselves, because they are the only people who can cool the situation.
How do you win this trust from these people, from the people, so that they can even trust you in all the times?
By showing them, I say, for you to become a leader, you're supposed to be worth a leader. And if you're not worth becoming a leader, you will never be a leader. So you've been given trust because they feel there's something you can do for them, and there's something you promised them. Somebody will look at you and they'll tell you, but I trust you can take me somewhere. So through that belief, they feel that any word you say to them, if you tell them you're going to articulate issues, if you tell them that you're going to sit down with the admin and talk on their behalf, they will definitely listen to you.
Okay, maybe basically concerning the building trust, what I can say is that when you manage to achieve some of the few objectives that you maybe once time said to them, maybe those promises that we normally give, when you manage to achieve maybe one or two, I think that will build more trust, because student will see, he said this, he did it. Then this means this man is a truthful man. So when you become a truthful man, then automatically student will believe on your say, student will believe on what in everything that you are doing. So in case of anything, they'll just be on your side and with them. So in case even they are differing with the institution, but when you talk to them, they'll feel like you are their say. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the other thing that makes you like be able to handle comrades, it's because they hold you accountable. They'll never hold the administration accountable. If for instance, let's say you look at a memo addressed by maybe the board, it's always addressed to the leaders, because they feel the leaders are accountable, and they have to wait till the leaders say something so that they can know the next step that they are going to make. So the fact that you've been held accountable by someone means that you have to give them results. And for you to give them results, you have to promise them that you're going to do something positive so that they can have a positive result also.
And as a leader, how do you motivate these people who are working under you?
Basically, what I can say, people working under us, like maybe in the office, or maybe if you become specific, or maybe general students, or maybe, let's say, like as per me, as the sports and entertainment secretary, so I have a group of people I work with them. First thing is general in Kenya, a token is worth an appreciation. So when you are appreciating them, I think one thing, you are managing them. Another thing also, the way you will operate. How are you working? What are your standards? Have you set a certain standard of working? When you've set a certain standard of working, you can do this, you cannot do this, no matter what. I think that can be a kind of a motivation.
Okay. Who mentors you in your leadership? Because you're a leader, I know you look for up to someone above you or ahead of you. Who mentors you?
I'll say our area governor, our area member of parliament, and our area member of the county assembly. They've been people that I've always looked up to, and definitely the president. Because this guy has been a master in the politics ground. So it's someone that we all look up to. We might not want to emulate them at some point, but we look up to them and realize how much we can do to people. I also think I get advice from mom and dad. Yeah.
As per me, I think I like so much the way Barack Obama the style he used to use during the time he was the president of the United States. I just like what he used to do, because the first thing, he had a passion as a black man, but he managed to lead the whites. And despite the fact that racism was also like a key factor in the abroad. So I just like the way he does things, his articulations, the way he used to manage when he was a leader, the way he used to balance all the things he used to do during his tenure. I think I just liked everything with what he was doing. unlike the ones who have been there after him. And another one also, I like Ababu Namwamba because he's always sharp and smart. When people are this side, he's this side, and the side that he's always there automatically normally gets a win. Yeah. So me, I believe in people who always have sharp minds to win, not to lose. So that's why I like also the way he does things.
Okay, as campus leaders, how will you define your leadership style?
I'll take more of engaging the public other than trying to, guess on what they want and make an implementation.
Okay, for me, I believe in the voice of the majority, like basically democratic. What are the majority willing to do? If the majority feel like this is the thing, then I'll go with them. And also, it should be engaging because to know what the majority needs, you should engage the popular groups. So, like during the February, we had an event, but you have a freshers night event. You have to choose the type of musani or the artist who should come. So you'll tend to test the grounds. The first I remember during that time I used to test. I said I'll bring this Triomio. Then they were like, Triomio is a high schooler, so a high schooler cannot come to a university setup. Then I was like jovial. Then they were like, jovial is for Mapenzi. Then students were like, you cannot bring jovial. Jovial is for Mapenzi. We don't want this love thing. Then I was like, if not that, then let me bring Ian. And I saw like majority were like Anaeza. Then now if you take the comparison, then I was like, I'll give it to Ian. Then he had to come. So the majority have it.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you balance your academic life and leadership?
I think it's just like asking how am I able to like cook and clean utensils. Like you just have to have a schedule, and make time for everything. Actually, most of the leaders you see out here, they don't sleep at night. And now they are reading, they are studying, and during the day they are just out here with the students mingling. So you'll confuse a leader thinking that they don't actually read, and you Skype your classes, but this guy does evening classes, does night classes, and you'll be just on your own.
For me, I believe in one thing is that I believe in one thing in that whenever someone comes to a university, there are some goals that you want to achieve, and basically, as per each individual who normally gets to campus, he wants to attain that degree, that diploma, that certificate that has come to achieve. So leadership normally just come like an added advantage. So basically, and when you are graduating, the school don't want to know that you are a leader, so they'll give you a free certificate because you used to, you must just be fully but engaged in the academic activity. So for me, what I normally ensure is that also with a leader, we have this concept in that you cannot just let yourself fail exam, because imagine you are the president, then you are in a class for a supplementary, or you are in a class for retake. How will students see that? They'll say like, this man is a leader, then he don't have content in the head. Then also to avoid such things, you just have to balance, you just have to read to avoid such things. And also maybe the lecturers also, they see you like you someone who you know yourself, you know what you want, so you cannot go on failing exams, then you know what you want. If someone who fails exam don't know what he wants, because when you went to the university, the course that you may be applied is per the marks you scored. So I think when you scored well this side, then you are not performing well this side, then I think you'll be, maybe you don't know what you want. So to avoid such things, I normally say I must balance between my leadership, my academics, and my lifestyle. So you
Yeah.
must balance all three.
And
No
has
matter
this
what.
leadership affected your lifestyle or your personal life?
Yeah, kind of. You know, for instance, I'll say I'm more of an introvert, but with being a leader, you definitely have to go out of your ways. You have to engage people. You have to sit with groups. You have to listen to people, and you cannot just chase people away simply because you are an introvert. So you definitely have to handle the introversy part of you so that you can accommodate the other people.
Okay, for me, maybe I can say it has not changed much of me, because me, I believe I normally set my standards. The type of life I'm living right now is what I thought in the last 2 years I should live. And in the next 2 years, I think of living a certain type of lifestyle that maybe I'll be living. So I think the only thing is realizing your goal, realizing your dreams. So I think with my lifestyle, the only thing maybe these small privileges and what, but basically, as per now, the way I am and what I have and how worth am I is just maybe what I can say is just commitment. But with the leadership, we saving almost the same salary, 8 of us, but now each and every individual has his maybe priorities. Someone prioritizes this one, someone prioritizes this one. So it depends the way you will take yourself and so on. Yeah.
I think the other thing I'll say about leadership is that once you become a leader, it becomes an eye opener for you. Like, why did I become a leader in the first place? There are questions that you definitely have to ask yourself, and these are the same questions that are going to affect you, whether positively or negatively. Like, you just don't become a leader because people told you to become a leader. You become a leader because you had an aspect of why you were becoming a leader. And that's why you see most of the people who are forced into leadership, they generally have poor performances compared to people who are born leaders. And you find that most of the leaders out here, after school, some of them become worthless, and it's simply because the only thing they had in mind was, I want to leave a legacy. I want, anytime I'm out somewhere, I want to say I was the president of this institution. I was in the executive of a certain institution. But they don't think about the afterthought. What about later? Because I'll not be a leader forever. I'll not be an executive in the institution forever. After I'm done with this, what next? I think that's a question that every leader should ask themselves. What next?
And if I may ask, as a leader, how do you relate with people, especially in campus? Because they are friends, there are people who may come close to you just because you're a leader. How do you people manage this thing?
I'll say, so long as you know yourself. Unless as a leader, you don't use let me say, common sense. I think you should differentiate between people and their approach. You should be very alert. Like, if you came to me today and started a conversation, I'll definitely digest the conversation before the conversation ends, and I'll have an answer of what you want. So I'll give you a yes, a no, or a let's see what we can do.
Okay, basically what I can say is that when you are a leader, as I've said it before, you know what you want. You've set certain standards. Let those standards and let those objectives that you've set before guides you on whatever you're doing. Because if you don't do so, then you'll end up maybe becoming something else. So if you lose the away, then you are not a leader. You are something else. Yeah. So when you have your standards, you know what you want. You know what it entails to be there. Also this position. I believe leadership is it comes from God, and God has given you this priority to lead a certain group of people. So you need to maybe have a good associate with others. know how to manage them, know how to control any information or anything someone needs, so that you can know which way.
Okay.
I think there's one thing I'll say that people tend to confuse. You know, when you tell someone about standards, that's when people think that like this person is now being egocentric. This person is now trying to like avoid people. You know, personally, I say the life that I lead today is basically an example of how I'll lead in the future and how I live in the future. You know, so if today I listen to people and associate with a certain group of people, like I have to attract, you know, as a leader, there's a group you attract. You don't attract everyone. You can associate with everyone, but you definitely don't attract everyone. There's a group you will attract. There are people you attract. That's why you see, as a leader, you have a high table, because you cannot eat on the same table with the rest unless you feel, let me go share a meal with them today. But there's definitely an attraction towards you that you definitely have to consider.
Okay, as a popular person, because I know you people are popular in your respective universities, how do you handle critics from people?
Personally, I think I'm one person who doesn't reply to critics. Just take the positive side of your critic, work on it, learn the mistake from your critic, develop it, and make it something positive, and I'll let you see the results. So I think my work will be an answer to you. Yeah.
Okay, for me personally, first thing, I don't like critics. I don't like them. I just don't like them because I normally feel like before I do something, I normally maybe preview it and see which way. So whenever a critic comes, then I know how to handle it. I just know how to figure out and handle it. But at times also there are those individuals who will just sit good when they see you are down. Yeah. So I normally at times you can ignore them. You feel, this man maybe is after my downfall, so I'll ignore it.
Okay. How do you see your leadership as success? Or what some types of the successes that something that you've achieved as a leader? What have you achieved?
So maybe the first thing I can say is that the objective that I've set, when I've set certain objective, even if it's one, when I've managed that objective, I see myself as successful. Like it's just like in normal lifestyle. When I say like I'll do this thing, maybe today during the morning, I'll wake up, take a shower, brush my teeth, take my breakfast, and go to school. If I manage that thing effectively without any other compromise, then it's already a success. Just like in leadership. January, I want to do this. February, I want to do this. March, I want to do this. But maybe if there is an interference that might tend maybe the naturality in that maybe something can happen that can hinder you achieving something, maybe say financial or the finances, maybe the funding and that things, such thing. So when such maybe come up, then I'll say it's nature. Yeah. But when I manage my objective very well, I'll count myself as a success.
I think as a leader, you definitely have to know that people look up on you. And when you become a leader, you become a mentor automatically, whether you like it or not. There are people who admire you, and there are people who envy you for who you are, So I think that's where now you like start being a mirror to other people. As a leader, for you to become a success, you definitely have to have successful people or a successful wheel that's pushing you forward. So if you have these people who are pushing you forward, you're definitely successful. The other thing I say as a leader, you definitely don't have to change for someone.
Yeah.
So long as whatever you're doing is going to make, and you believe is making a positive impact on somebody else, you have to focus on a majority. You have to focus on the positivity of whatever you do. Like, for instance, I'll say, like today, I'll definitely wake up, I'll post something. Whatever you post gives a lot of who I am. So if you post something negative today, then people will definitely know it's bad. If you post something positive today, people definitely know it's good. And you have to up your game by knowing, as a leader, what am I supposed to do? Because you cannot procrastinate and tell people not to procrastinate. You have to you have to set things right. You have to set as an example. You have to become an example to people. So the way you follow is the way people follow. To me, I believe being successful to me is making sure that people who look up at me get the positivity inside me. I think that's the only thing that makes me successful.
Okay, maybe to add on that, what I can say is that as a leader, you need to at times evaluate yourself and say, like, with this objective, what have I not achieved? What have I achieved? And for those objectives that I have not achieved, what am I doing to make sure that I achieve certain objectives? Yeah. So you need just each time you are in your leadership during that time, your tenure, you need to maybe have those breaks to evaluate yourself, because at times you can maybe forget and go a certain mile, then then you realize that you are not even engaging those maybe the comrades that elected you. So and that time now you'll be realized that this is a failure, because even the group of people you are managing, you are not managing it right now. So I think basically having your time, realizing that I've done this, I've not done this, what will I do to achieve this?
Yeah.
It's basically a very good concept to entail. Yeah.
And okay, for future purposes, what is your vision as a leader? What do you look okay, you are a sports leader. What is your vision?
Okay, for me, my vision, okay, what I normally know, or that one time I'll be a senator. I just need to be a senator, to be a lawmaker for the Busia County. I come from Busia, so I'll go back home and become a senator there 2032. And then apart from that one, also in everywhere I go, in each group that I'm in, I should be the one to guide them and influence them to act in a way that I think is good for them. Yeah.
Okay.
I think as a leader, my vision is that everywhere I go, I have to leave an impact. And as much as you leave a legacy, you might leave a legacy and not leave an impact. Those are two totally different things. You might just leave a legacy and people will say, one day Pinky was here, he was a leader. But you leave an impact that people will always say, Pinky made this, Pinky did this, and we are this because Pinky did this. You see? The other thing, I think, for me, I might not venture into national politics, but I've always been working towards, mentoring people. And I think that's what I'm going to continue doing, because I feel there are a lot of people actually with this generation, the Gen Z, who are definitely getting lost. People who are, taking things and having unnecessary dramas that are actually affecting them, stressing them, and, premature depressions. And I think I want to venture and link these people with knowing that they can. And in life, you can always reset and restart. And it's always it's always good to be vulnerable, by the way. Yeah.
What are some of the problems you have discovered that universities face through go through in different areas, not just in technical university, in other colleges? What are some of the problems you have seen, and what is your take on each problem? What can you say? What's your idea on
Okay, the first thing I would like to alter is that I've been to several universities around Kenya. I've been maybe through my okay, I'm a businessman and I normally like visiting very many universities. So I've been to Egerton, I've been to ONKU, back to the Masinde Muliro, I've been to the Moi University for a long time. What I can say is that one, actually students are really suffering. Yeah, I've encountered one-on-one interaction with students, and what I can say is students in the university normally suffer. You know why? The first thing a parent takes her son or the daughter to the university, he or she feels at times many parents normally go to an extent of forgetting that that son or that daughter, he's still a student. He don't have any means to survival. He only depends on the parent. But now you go to year one, you get that when you are 1.1, that relationship was very well. But now, after 1 year, most parents tend to forget. And with that, you will get many students. Now, it becomes to a challenge to them because your lifestyle has changed. You don't have what it takes to have your normal days running. So what I can say, first thing I can advise is that parents should reconsider their children. They should know how many years is my son taking at the university. Throughout those years, nurture him, make sure that no matter what, even if at home things are difficult, but try in a week's time to ensure that a student gets something. Because food is a necessity that someone cannot lack. Housing is a necessity that someone cannot lack. And in fact, also clothing is a necessity that when one's lack, maybe he'll feel inferior through a certain group of people. A parent wants success, but he don't want to input. And each success must come with an input. So that is one of the challenges that I can say that students normally face. Parents ignoring them with time as they prosper in the university. Another thing also I can say is that students at times tend to forget themselves. They tend to forget the goals. They tend to forget who they are. You are in year one, someone was just basically a good boy, a church boy and so on, or a church girl and so on. Year two, you find himself is there in Nyali, I don't know he's doing what. He's in Manyani, there's a place in our still called Manyani. So you know, when students tend to forget their goals, at time also it becomes a challenge because after you've gone to a certain level, coming back to the normalcy is a very difficult concept than when you could have just let your lifestyle run smoothly. So I've seen it in the institution there. Weekly or monthly, like each and every time you get a student has learned man. Why? Drug abuse. He's at the trees, you know. So it becomes like a challenge. Also, another thing, when students come from home, you are from a very humble background. Maybe let's say you normally just live a normal type of lifestyle. You go to campus, you know, with campus you'll get people from different ethnicity, different calibers, different lifestyle. You get someone, a son to a minister somewhere, a son to a CEO somewhere. So those are your people. Those are the people you are in the class. So you get someone is shifting. He has forgotten that he's from a humble background. He wants to live a lifestyle that's not worth his type. So students should realize this is the type of lifestyle I've been living. Let me maintain this lane. Let them live a life that is worth what they have, not what others have. And if you want what others have, work hard. Don't get it easy. Because even I've seen it here. I don't know why is it that I've attended very many burials within the institution since January. But I don't know why is it that each burial we normally go, that student must be from less humble background. You'll get someone has committed suicide, someone has died, I don't know of what. That just some funny cases. Yeah. But when you go back at their home, just from a humble background. I've never gone to a certain household where they're like I don't know what normally happened, but now what I can say, students should realize themselves, realize what it takes to be a student, and live on your lane. Let others live their life, but you live your life.
Yeah.
I think there's also the aspect, there's that aspect of wanting to fit in wanting to fit in a community that you don't belong to. And that makes a lot of people actually, if if you asked 90% of campus students what stresses them, is the fact that they see their fellow students who are actually from well-off families having nice things, and they cannot afford the same. It stresses them out. And you definitely find, like, for instance, if it's girls, they'll definitely go for sugar daddies. If it's boys, they'll definitely go for sugar mummies, because they want to fit into a certain community where they don't belong. They also the aspect of peer pressure. I want to do something simply because I want to feel loved. My boys, my girls are doing this, and since I want to fit there, I have to do whatever they are doing. You see? So you find that in between first year and graduating, a lot of people have been lost in between. And if I dived into the burial thing, the demises thing, you'll find that a lot of students who actually pass away, it's actually they take their own lives. They definitely take their own lives. You see someone will say it's because they had a relationship crisis, they've taken their lives. Though I don't know, whatever family issues, they've taken their lives. And I'll say for the time that I've been in campus, I've encountered different people from different backgrounds and having different issues. I once had a case of a lady who was actually with a kid, and I definitely had to, like, take her through and tell her, like, there's life after giving birth, because this is someone who had lost hope and felt that she was unwanted by the campus society simply because she was a parent now, simply because she was pregnant. But I definitely had to go back and tell her there's a life after giving birth, there's a life after being a mother. You can be a mother and you'll definitely make up and definitely make it. The moment you give someone a reason to live, they will live. But the moment you give someone a reason to lose hope, they will lose hope. There's one thing I tell people, and it's one of the things that make a lot of comrades and a lot of students definitely lose hope when they get into campus. I tell people that when your parent tells you to come to school while you leave home, they never tell you that go look for money. They tell you, my kid, my son, my daughter, go bring that degree home. But it's common sense to know that you're out of your parents' vicinity and you definitely have to go out of your ways and make a living. There are a lot of comrades who are definitely living on their own, not depending on their parents, and they are making it. And there are people who are just there saying, my dad told me to come look for a degree, and that's what I'm doing. But the moment students realize the closure of being in a university, I think the crisis issue is definitely going to reduce, because they still think they're in high school, they're in primary school, where the parents need to follow them up. And that's why you find a lot of people who are in campus, most of them who are from strict backgrounds, immediately they come to campus, they change. If you met this guy somewhere and met the same version of him back at home, they are two different versions. And a lot of these people who are having strict parents definitely come and become a worst version of themselves.
Mm.
I think one thing I would like to tell parents is, as much as you being strict to your kid, like it's good to like sit them down, have a chat with them, give them the benefits of doing things and the consequences of doing something bad. Because you just don't tell a kid, I don't want to see you with a man. You just don't go telling your daughter, I never want to see you with a man, and you don't tell them why. You don't go telling your son, I never want to see you with a daughter, with a girl, and you definitely don't tell them why. You know, they'll definitely experiment this. But if you sit them down and tell them, the reason I'm telling you I don't want to see you with a boy at this particular time is because there are consequences of having boyfriends. This person, anytime they are trying to indulge themselves in something, they will definitely go out and remember what their parents said.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, I'm really getting a lot from this. Yeah. So, what advice will you give us? We sum up because we're going to sum up now. I've really heard a lot from you, and I believe this is important for also those who are watching us. What advice will you give these university leaders and also university students? What advice will you have to give them today?
Okay, for me, what I can say is that to university students, one thing: realize your goals, realize your potential, and realize what you want. And you cannot go on achieving something that you don't know what you want. And one thing I can tell them is that if I made it, then they can also make it. Because my situation was quite difficult, and we've been through a lot. And if I made it, I believe everyone and every student, every kid in this Kenya can make it. Because we are like, I'm a kind of an individual who normally do work for it. Like I believe I've had enough, and I've encountered many situations, but I've managed it. You get it? So what I can say, I can just tell them is that like they should give it their best. Another thing also, I would like to urge the government of Kenya, like generally, like life, we're shifting from a certain paradigm that we had the old lifestyle. Things are changing, and the world, the rate at which the world is developing is so much high, in that the cost of living is going to a certain level where if you don't have cash in your pocket, then you cannot manage to fit in the society we are right now. So basically, what we can say is that maybe policies can be in place that can manage students in campus, in that at least their lifestyle can also be at a better place. Or maybe not. If that would happen now, then maybe I dream that one day in the Senate chambers, I'll manage to come up with policies that will oversee those students in the universities, at least have a lifestyle that has been there before, but not the one that is now. Because I've heard from many people that before, life in the university was so sweet, in that job employment was at a high rate than we hear right now. It is because we've not finished, so I cannot say that it's not there. But also at times I think it depends on the mindset. And to other leaders also who are outside there, I can say bravo. They have achieved it. They have made it to a position where they are. Let them do let them go extra mile, to achieve more and more.
I think what I'd like to tell students and people in general is, if you don't make it today, you'll make it tomorrow. Give your all, and simply because you failed today doesn't mean you're going to fail tomorrow. And simply because someone was successful today doesn't mean tables cannot turn tomorrow. So have some self-evaluation in you. Always reflect on your past and reflect on your future. Your current is not that much necessary like your future. Because I like telling people, and that's a quote that I always say, that your future starts today. You are your future. Whatever you do today is something that's going to affect you in the future. So your future is today. And if you don't utilize your today, then your tomorrow is definitely going to be hell on you. You know, I also like to tell people, be easy on yourself. Don't over expect, by the way. It's a progress to make it. And you're either in the wash business, or you're following the rightful strategy to make it. But don't over expect things. It's a process, and everyone follows a process until they make it. And believe in yourself, look up unto you, and always know when you're trying to give up, know that there's someone who is looking up to you, and it's a reason for you to live.
Wow. Thank you so much. I've really acquired a lot from this. Yeah, you've really made something new in me. And I believe also those who are watching us today have really gotten a lot from this same show. And I believe that you are acquiring much knowledge in your different places of leadership as young people, and also somebody who is in campus who has lost hope. You're also getting something new from this place. And we youths have to contribute something to this society, as our leaders here have told us today. And I know that they're contributing in their different areas. So we should also contribute much to our society. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been your host, Mercelline Kagelitsa, and keep it OSTV for more and more next time.